Coming up on CSR.
Tyrese Jacks and the CCSF Rams try to remain unbeaten as they take on CSM.
We get an inside look into the world of John Madden football.
USF and St. Mary's had a plutonic date under the fog at Nego Esco Field.
And SF State tries to corner the Tritons of San Diego.
All that and a whole lot more
right now on CSR. Welcome to the College Sports Report alongside my tag team partner Matt Martinez. I am Kevin Liu.
On today's edition of CSR, we have blistering hits, devastating kills, and a huge game-winning field goal.
That's right, Matt, but I heard there was a pretty big game out there in San Francisco.
You heard right, my man. The CCSF Rams came into Saturday's contest against bitter rival CSM, ranked number 1 in California with an unblemished record of 5-0. The Dogs entered a modest 5-1. We're going to jump straight into the action. Zach Lee working out of the shotgun. He heaves the ball down the middle as he connects with Derek Davis for his first touchdown of the season, 7-0 CCSF. After a 3-and-out by CSM, Zach Lee tries to hit his slot receiver on an out route, but Evan Roman, he's going to do his Robin Hood impression as he takes this ball back to Sherwood Forest. Game is tied up at 7 apiece, and Robin Hood always gets greeting from his merry men. Lee working out of the shotgun. Overthrows his receiver. Right here, ball gets tipped, and it finds a home in Calvin Roberts' hands. That would lead to a Bulldog field goal, 10-7 CSM. Ensuing drive, the pitch back by Lee, and Tyrese Jacks dodges and busts his way to the end zone for his first touchdown of the game. Rams back on top, 14-7, but for every teeter, folks, there always is a totter. And CSM's backup quarterback, David Singleton, provides that as he tosses a difficult pass to Issa Hines. Will take the ball down to the 15. CSM would get into the end zone, 17-14 Rams. Lee loves the shotgun. Here comes a drive, hitting Kenny O'Neill up the middle. Rams still on the same drive. Jacks taking the handoff, busts a few tackles, en route to another Ram first down. The very next play, same drive. Lee using play action. He's going to sling a pass to Jonathan Smith, who picks up some yak right here, ends up with 30 yards on the game. And Tyrese Jacks in the backfield looking to set up the lead here as he finishes the drive up with a blast up the middle. Rams up 21-17 at this point, but the rest of the game would be all Rams if they rolled to stay unbeaten, 41-24. The Bulldogs will take on the last place Butte Roadrunners this weekend, while CCSF will travel to Foothill to take on the undefeated Owls for sole possession of first place in the NorCal Conference.
When a team schedules its homecoming game, it's usually against a team they can beat pretty easily. But as Chabot found out, they got much more than what they bargained for. The Gladiators were juiced up for their homecoming game, but Modesto came to play too. On Modesto's first drive, Chad Draper hands off to Brandon Crawford, who takes it up the gut untouched for a picture-perfect 33-yard touchdown, 7-0 Pirates. On the ensuing drive, Chabot bounces right back. Eric Carrillo hits star running back Randall Eldridge in the flat, who dives and twirls in the end zone for the score. Extra point was no good. Chabot trails by 1. Later in the first, Carrillo gets right back to work. Already on the Modesto 17, he rolls out and finds Brad Sullivan for a 14-yard gain to the 3. On the next play, running back Jordan Meeks bruises his way into the end zone for the 3-yard score. After another Jarrett Huck missed extra point, Chabot leads 12-7. After a few more scores by both teams, Draper hits Roman Panarian on a fade pattern for the 15-yard score, 22-21 Modesto. In the third quarter, Carrillo's play-action pass to Doug Chet goes for 48 yards as he's brought down at the 6. First and goal, Chabot. Next play, Randall Eldridge gets back on the board as he dives over the goal line for his third touchdown of the day. Chabot now up by 3. In the fourth quarter, Chabot linebacker Andrew Cabianca shows off his vertical leaping skills, blocking the Modesto punt. Dalmas Satcher picks it up at the 15, and he's in there like swimwear. 35-25 Chabot. Modesto ties the game up with 10 unanswered points, but with 6 seconds left, Jarrett Huck lined up for a 38-yard field goal. And guess what, folks? The kick is true. Field goal is good for the game winner. After a safety on the kickoff, Chabot wins 40-35 with the Gatorade bath. After their nail-biter with Modesto, the Gladiators improved their record to 4-3 and are now tied with Diablo Valley College atop the Golden Gate Conference. In the game, Eric Carrillo was 11 for 14 for 162 yards and a score, and running back Randall Eldridge had 155 yards on the ground and 3 scores altogether. This Saturday, Chabot takes on West Valley at 1 p.m. In the Pac-10, California went overtime with Washington. Marshawn Lynch scored on a 29-yard touchdown, and they finished them off.
And Arizona State knocking around Stanford. Stanford still hasn't won a game this year.
0-7. And upstart San Jose State took a loss to Nevada 23-7.
Foothill, a touchdown better than Santa Rosa in the NorCal Conference as they stay undefeated.
And next week they take on CCSF for sole possession of first place in the NorCal Conference. Diablo Valley College also beat West Valley 28-21 in overtime. And in the Mid-Empire Conference, American River beat undefeated Laney 27-22. More scores, Contra Costa beat Marin 42-20.
Cabrillo 11 better than De Anza as they roll 24-13.
And San Jose City took a loss 16-13.
Hey Kevin, what has sold 55 million copies worldwide?
One Night in Paris?
You are a sick and twisted man. The correct answer is John Madden Football. Kelly Jo Anderson has the story.
Now, in its 17th year, Madden Football is the #1 sports video game in the world. EA Sports awarded 5-time Pro Bowler Donovan McNabb to represent the face of the franchise, that is, the official game of the NFL.
Right.
He talks about what an honor it is to be on the 2006 cover.
I've dreamed of it. I didn't think it actually happened, but you know, when you're younger, you're playing Commodore 64, Atari. Then they came out with Tecmo Bowl back in the day, those big games, and then you say, you know what, one day I'm gonna be on the cover.
Madden 06 has revolutionized the passing game, giving it the most groundbreaking and innovative offense ever created. The new quarterback vision control lets a player scan the field, look off defenders, and make perfect throws. Former Viking quarterback Dante Culpepper thinks the addition is challenging, but worth it.
You got to put that vision angle on the receiver that you're throwing to, or else your chances of completing the ball is very low. So that makes it a lot harder, but it's a lot better too once you get used to it.
Professional players and football fans are fanatical about Madden. Chiefs quarterback Trent Green is amazed at how personal the game has become.
It's unbelievable how the technology just keeps going through the roof. I mean, the fact that now you can personalize a specific player, you can actually pick out his parents, you can start him through the whole draft process, pick an agent, go through the draft, you know, work your way up. I don't know where it ends. It just keeps evolving. It's incredible. It's a lot of fun.
High stepping to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
With its incredible reputation, EA Sports still looks for ways to improve the game. With the help of some of the greatest players and coaches, it is truly one of the most realistic and authentic football video games ever created. The latest edition of Madden Football was released in August and is already a big hit. With new features like the highlight stick, John Madden Football is evolving each year. In San Francisco, I'm Kelly Jo Anderson for CSR.
If you think you have game, the Madden Challenge hits the streets of San Francisco November the 26th.
Now, after our short break, we take you into the ever-exciting world of women's volleyball and soccer.
Yeah, that's right. Stick around. CSR will be right back. Dude, prompter needs a...
Coffee awakens all the senses, but only Fair Trade certified coffee awakens the sixth sense, the sense of fairness. Fair Trade certified coffees are bought directly from family farmers, guaranteeing them better incomes and strengthening their communities. Fair Trade certified. Taste fairness. Look for the label wherever you buy coffee.
Small businesses are facing expensive energy bills. Much of this expense is generated from lighting. In fact, inefficient lighting can cost small business owners more than they may realize. Don't let your lights burn more than electricity. Let smart lights help you save money, and let the money work for you, not your energy bills. Smart lights, brighten your bottom line. A joint program of the cities of Berkeley and Oakland.
My life is out of control. I have no job, no health insurance, no support. I'm pregnant. I don't know how to handle all of this, But there's one thing I can do. Take care of this. It won't solve all my problems, but at least it'll make a difference. If I can do it, you can do it too.
Prenatal care makes a difference. 1-800-300-9950.
At first I was a bit hesitant to try it.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think I'd fit in. But I kept pushing her and she ended up loving it.
I was surprised. It was an amazing experience.
And now we do it at least twice a month.
I've even gotten most of my friends to do it.
If you do it enough, you can get a great deal on the price.
Why didn't we think of this before?
It's a stimulating experience.
The Z-Space Studio.
Word for word.
Z-Space Studio, word for word, stimulation guaranteed. See you at the theater.
Thanks for sticking with us. Matt, I know our viewers are really anxious to see that women's volleyball.
You're right. You're absolutely right. The USF Lady Dons volleyball team has had its ups and downs. They started out the season winners of 16 of their first 17, but they entered Thursday's contest against the 5-15 Bulldogs, 1-4 in their last 5 matches. USF invited the Zags into War Memorial Gym to play some ball. And the Bulldogs acted like unwanted house guests, slide stuffing Alex Gambos, and then disrespecting Anna Berger, not once, but they said her again, and they disrespect her twice. Zag shockingly up 19-12 at the timeout, but Coach Jeff Nelson had a few tricks up his sleeve. Hit the ball hard. Berger getting some revenge.
That's vicious.
Then Karchner setting up the Hasselhammer. Hey, eat this. That would set up game point. And Bryn Maurer showing off her 172-inch vert as the Dons win game 1, 30-27. Game 2 action, all Dons, baby. War Hasselberg, one of her match-high 15 kills. And Maurer with the sick dig to Karchner, setting up guess who? Hasselberg, money. And let's go, Jazz Hands. Dons take game 2, 30-18. Game 3, Darcy Carroll setting up Alex Gambos. Spank you very much. 11 kills on the evening. And that would set up match point. The Dons would capitalize on the free ball right here with a 1-2-3 punch as Maurer earns her 6th kill, and the Dons show the lack of parity with a 3-0 romping of the Bulldogs. Good guys win. With Thursday's victory over Gonzaga and Saturday's win over Portland, the Dons improved their conference record to 3-4. They'll travel to Santa Clara to go head-on with the number 17 Broncos on Thursday.
The Lady Dons soccer team is having a rough year. At 4-10-2, things couldn't get much worse. Riding a 7-game winless streak, they hope to reverse their misfortunes against Loyola Marymount. Playing under the lights, this just could be the game they do it. For LMU goalie Jocelyn Slovak, it would be a big day, but Karen Brighthouse's shot wasn't a problem. In the 22nd minute, Slovak really showed off her skills. The ball bounces off Jenny Jarvie and headed by Samantha Brand, but Slovak makes a great save look easy.
She's tall.
The Lions would then try to score themselves. A long lead pass up to Jamie Ball gets her in the box, but Katie Hodgson is there to make one of her 4 saves on the day. Locked them in a defensive battle, this one went scoreless in the first half. And the refs had an easy job as there were no penalties in the first half either. Early in the second half, Samantha Brand does her best Charles Barkley impression boxing out Slovak, but she can't put it home. In the 73rd minute, Alex Milkey, Christina Hall, and Lauren all form a human wall, but unlike the men, they don't have to protect themselves. The ball makes it over to Michelle Kanama, but Hodgson makes another save. Right about here. She's real tall. Just minutes later, the Lions were on attack mode themselves. Tara Smotherland spins Lauren's tweet around in circles and kicks it long distance, barely over Hodgson's reach for their improbable goal. That proved to be the game winner. USF falls again, this time 1-0. The loss extended their winless streak to a season-high 8 games, but just 2 days later, they got their first win in a month when they beat Pepperdine. Matt, what's up with the men this weekend?
Well, the number 12 USF men came into Saturday's contest against St. Mary's, winners of 4 of their last 5, looking to continue their consistent play. To Nago-Esco Field, where the Dirty Dons were ready to square off against St. Mary's. Early action as Neil Stewart jumps his hip and hips his ball towards the goal, but it knocks into the crossbar. Dons back in action with the cross, and the short dish right here to the elbow extended. Rob Valentino denied by David Lensner, still scoreless. Then Henderson, discarding the defender like 7 dudes offsuit, but his shot sails high. No good. And it's Henderson again with the gorgeous ball to Attar. Right here. And he finds Stewart, who rips that ball right into the net. USF up 1-0. It's Beer. Hooray, Beer. Second half action. Let's move. All right, Stewart advances the ball to Don's leading scorer, Aaron Chandler, who upends Gale's keeper, David Lenzer, who was shaken up, but he could stay in the game. Creeping through the fog, it's Jordan Keys with a flip throw headed by Stewart, and then nodded again to set up Chandler with a bicycle kick. Nice effort. The Dons would cling to their 1-0 advantage and never relinquish it. Fear the fog, boys and girls. Fear the fog. The Dons will travel to the Pacific Northwest for a 2-game swing against WCC foes Portland and Gonzaga. You can catch their webcasts on usfdons.com.
SFSU alumni do a myriad of things once they graduate. Our own Paul Wilson is on our side set with one of them.
Thanks, guys. We're joined in the studio today by former wrestler and SFSU alumni Joey Barang. He placed 5th in 2004 and has been ranked as high as 3rd in the nation. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for joining us.
How you doing, Paul?
Joey, how has wrestling prepared you for a career in mixed martial arts?
Well, wrestling has prepared me in a way that gives me the experience and the matches that I need in order to prepare for a fight. In mixed martial arts, you gotta realize that you have a match like every month or every 3 months, so you're not really constantly in the ring. With wrestling, I was constantly doing 4 matches a weekend for 6 months at a time, so it really got me mentally prepared, physically prepared. I kind of know how to train for mixed martial arts, and that's kind of what it's been doing for me so far.
And you also trained a lot as a youngster with your family members, right? Your brothers and stuff
Correct.
like that.
Right. I have 2 younger brothers that I grew up with, and they're around the same age as me. And we worked out with each other and did a lot of like submission wrestling when we were younger. They joined wrestling with me, so I always had someone there to kind of push me to the next level, that type of thing. So.
Right. How often do you train, and what type of training do you do to prepare for a fight?
I train 6 days a week. 2 days out of the week, I'm doing my wrestling training here at San Francisco State. I'm doing my jiu-jitsu also on the same day, and the other days I'm doing Muay Thai and mixed martial arts type training during those other days. I also get in my weightlifting training that I have to do to keep my muscles in condition. And cardio training, I'm running around the city every once in a while to kind of keep my cardiovascular system up to peak. So. Well,
I know in training you can't do it alone. Do you have some help?
Yeah, I do. I do have some guys that come in and help me on the days that I'm grappling. And I have an awesome trainer. His guy's name is Cleveland Berto. He's teaching me everything he knows. He's helping me with my stand-up. He comes from a family of fighters. His younger brother's a pro boxer. His older brother's a mixed martial arts fighter as well, so he's teaching me everything he knows, and it's been working for me so far, so yeah.
Right. When is your next fight, and how can fans see more of Joey Barang?
Well, my next fight is actually going to be in November 4th, and I'm going to be fighting in Florida. It's going to be a cage fight. There's going to be 2 title fights that night, and I'm fighting in that as an undercard. You know, assuming I win that match, which I will, I'll probably be having another one in California sometime soon.
Nice, very good, very good. Thanks so much for joining us today. Best of luck in your next match. And back to you at the studio, guys.
Thanks, Paul, and thank you, Joey, for joining us in the studio. If you're interested in learning more about mixed martial arts and Joey Barang's success, check out therealfightingchampionships.com.
You know, Matt, that interview makes me want to fight you. I think I can make you tap out.
I am retired.
CSR will be right back.
More about these martial arts, just check out Google.
That's what I ended up Googling.
You are the thumbs and the eyes. You are the energy and the shine. You are the rhythm and the gift. You are the angel and the fist. You are the universe. You are the universe.
You have the strength of waves, guiding the energy of dominions. Your face explodes like hope and vision, pushing through the empty masks of heroes and systems. It is your iron time.
And here comes Chris Hill, 4'6" out of Jefferson Elementary, a confident young man with a great stride. But, uh-oh, he might be in trouble now.
Hey, Chris. Want to get high? No way, man. That stuff's for losers.
Oh, what a move! Chris Hill never hesitates, just blows past that guy. Bob?
You're right, Mike. Look, Chris is known for his great head shake. Then he shifts his weight to the right foot, finds a hole, and zip, he's out of there.
Spectacular, just spectacular. This kid's got a bright future.
Now, kid, be cool. You just give the stuff to your best buddies. Tell your friends it's a great high. Tell them it can't hurt them.
I can do that.
Just give it away. And you see who comes back for more.
And then I start charging.
You're a smart kid. You have a good day at school, Billy boy.
Welcome back to CSR.
Thanks for staying with us.
Kevin, I promised you more soccer. Take care of the kids.
Will do. The men's Gator soccer team has had a bit of an interesting year. They knocked off the likes of Sonoma State, Seattle, and Seattle Pacific, all ranked teams. But they lost to teams like Humboldt State and San Bernardino, along with a tie with Monterey Bay, teams with losing records. With 2 games left, they look to end the season on a winning note. First up was UC San Diego. No scoring in the first half, so we take you straight to the second. Joe Shaw gets a hold of one, but Ezra Mendoza is Johnny on the spot for the save. Things started getting a bit testy. Bobby Maeda pushes the ball upfield, but Chase Douglas wipes him out. And after a good acting job by Maeda, Douglas receives a yellow card. Rough play continued. Matt Peterson leg whips Devin Cook, but surprisingly, he doesn't get a yellow card. Fast forward to the 78th minute. John Sawyer's attempt to knock in the corner kick is denied by a diving Ezra Mendoza for one of his 6 saves on the day. Game still scoreless. Things would get even testier with a little soccer-style trash talk right here. Gator Brett Boysen shows his frustration by kicking the ball out of Dustin Tannenhause's hands. Now, Matt, why would he want to do that?
The Tritons are punks.
Maybe, maybe not. Well, the large contingent of San Diego fans didn't appreciate that call, and they wouldn't like what the outcome was going to be either. And that's because in the 90th minute, Jonathan Tarbini's throw and ricochets off Anton Horwath's head to Dylan Glass, who pokes it through the net for the game-winning goal. That's the freshman's team-leading 6th goal of the year. Gators win a thriller, 1-0. 2 days later, the Gators finished up their season against Cal State San Dominguez Hills. Unfortunately, they lost that game 3-1, bringing their record to 7-9-4. Now we have the captain of the men's team in studio, joined by our very own Michelle Dapper. Michelle, take it away.
Thank you, guys. Right now I'm here with SFSU senior center back George Nixon. Thank you, George, for being here.
How you doing?
All right. So, George, tell us a little bit about what went on this season.
The season was my senior year, and we got a handful of freshmen in this year, so we had kind of a young bunch. I think there was just me, Matt Peterson, and Kyle Loftus as far as the starters this season. And we got off to a pretty good start. We beat Seattle Pacific and Monterey Bay. Monterey was the conference opener, so that was a good win. But I think our youth kind of caught up to us as far as keeping it consistent. We had ups and downs, and it's kind of the focus of our season. We were like the bad news bears. You know, we come and play well against the teams that, you know, we kind of get stoked to play, and then, you know, kind of mediocre out when it came to coming up against the teams we should beat. So the young guys really
just stepped up.
Yeah.
That's good. What areas could you guys have improved on this year?
You know, it was all about being consistent. We had moments where we just have little mental letdowns, just split seconds of not clearing the ball, not marking up tightly, and you know, that just comes with time. Just comes with, you know, time on the field and preparation, and I think these guys in a couple of years will have that.
Yeah. So I understand that, you know, you guys beat Sonoma State, which is a big rival of yours, and Coach Hunter and Coach Zimmer are also, you know, best friends.
Yeah, they're best friends.
Tell us a little about like what went on with Sonoma and SFSU.
Well, that's funny because Joe's always talking about Zimmer and about how they are, and you know, a couple of times we played those guys, and every time we play them, it's you know, you go to their field and all their fans are heckling us. You know, they know your name, they know where you're from, they know everything about you. So you go and play at a field like that, it's hard not to be amped to play that game, and it's hard not to try to get into people's, you know, heads. And
how do the coaches interact? Are they?
You know, Joe and Zimmer, they don't really. I didn't see them interact a lot on the field. You hear, you know, the phone call after the win or the loss, and they're pretty good friends. You know, both of them were each other's best man at their wedding, so I think they kind of have a mutual respect for each other. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm sure they get into it after a couple beers at the pub.
Oh man, beer always does it. So I understand that you're team captain, of course. What traits do you think you have that helped Coach Hunter put you up for this job?
You know, I talked to Joe this summer, and he does our little training regimen for us, and I had stayed here all summer because I was working, and there's a couple guys around, and I kind of just took into my own hands to make sure we're all in shape. And Joe pretty much saw that I kind of took the initiative to keep it pretty consistent, and also we were pretty democratic on our team. You know, it was kind of a vote, so everybody had picked it up, and I'm the old fogey on the team, so I think that some of the younger guys kind of looked at me as like a father type figure, not like my older brother. And it's just about being consistent, you know, showing up every day with a decent attitude and pushing each other along. I don't think if you're too negative or too angry, people don't want to follow you. So just try to be good buddies with everybody, I think.
Any advice for the returning players or future Gators?
I don't know, Tony Romas and Kevin Jewell need to definitely step it up next season, and you know, fireball Wesley Witt. Hopefully he can become our leading scorer. So just tell those guys keep it together, and you know, as long as they get those grades in, we'll be fine.
It's all about the grades.
It is.
Well, thank you, George, for joining us today. Good luck to you in the future. The Gators soccer season may be over, but this weekend, North meets South. Cal State Stanislaus and Sonoma State join Cal State LA and Dominguez Hills in the conference tournament. Kevin, Matt, back to you guys.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, you know, they beat teams like Sonoma State, and, you know, all these ranked teams, and then, you know, they couldn't get the job done against the lesser teams.
Well, they had a hard time. They had a hard time with the teams that they should have beaten, San Bernardino and Humboldt State. But you know, that's what makes a good team great, and they're still growing to be that. As
Mr. Nixon was just saying, you know, they had a lot of youth on the team, so maybe next year they'll get things rolling.
Absolutely. Michelle Dapper is both agile and sports savvy. Somehow she has traveled from our side set to the desk in 4 seconds flat to provide us with today's final thought. Don't forget to breathe, Michelle.
I got it, Matt. I won't forget to inhale. Yes, they call it Dirtgate. Yes, a real sticky situation gets even stickier as the days go on. This past Sunday night in Game 2 of the World Series, cameras detected a brown splotch on the left hand of Tigers pitcher Kenny Rogers. The things that make you go, At first it sounds like NASA just found another spot on one of the planets in the world of the unknown. But no, we're talking about America's favorite pastime, the game of baseball. Tens of millions of fans were sitting at home and could clearly see that Rogers had a substance on his hand. A substance that had the apparent look of pine tar. A substance that is a blatant violation in the rules of baseball. Rogers says it was dirt. La Russa says it didn't look like dirt. To settle the spat, umpires asked Rogers to go wash his hands and play on. A substantial case of sweeping dirt under the rug. Rogers went on to pitch 8 shutout innings. So what's next for baseball? As it adds yet another strike under its belt. If the use of pine tar is someday proven to help pitchers improve their grip, then great, slap it on. But for now, as it stands, using tar of any kind is a crime in baseball, and the MLB let the smudge slide right by. As late AC/DC's late Bond said,
controversy in baseball, Michelle? What a surprise.
Dude,
you got that right.
Wait a minute, what controversy are you talking about? Kenny Rogers is a cheater. He should have been pulled out of the game as soon as they saw the pine tar in his hand. You don't just go wash it off. That's not how it works.
Hey, you said it was mud, right?
It wasn't mud.
It wasn't mud. Wonder who's next.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to see more CSR, you can check us out at myspace.com/CSRSFSU.
That's right, and you can also see this episode and several more on Google Video when you search CSR SFSU. It's as simple as that.
Well, folks, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, for Kevin Liu and all the rest of us here at the College Sports Report, I'm Matt Martinez. You stay classy, San Francisco.
But mostly, thanks for stopping by.
Stay classy.
At first, I was a bit hesitant to try it.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think I'd fit in. But I kept pushing her, and she ended up loving it.
I was surprised. It was an amazing experience.
And now we do it at least twice a month.
I've even gotten most of my friends to do it.
If you do it enough, you can get a great deal on the price.
Why didn't we think of this before?
It's a stimulating experience.
The Z-Space Studio.
Word for word.
Z-Space Studio, word for word, stimulation guaranteed. See you at the theater.